Greetings from Rajiv Edu Astro, our YouTube channel on astrology, a divine blessing. In the series of our videos on revision, this is the fourth video series in which we shall see houses and planets, and in which we will see the planets in the first house or in the rising sign. Planets in the first house. Planets rising in the ascendant produce their own influences. So you see here planet in the rising sign. So rising sign is Gemini, planets are Jupiter and Venus. So they will have their own influence. How? They will have their influence depending on the lordships they have. So Venus has the lordship of the 5th house and the 12th house. How will it influence the ascendant? That means the person. Jupiter has the lordship of the 7th and the 10th, and Mars has the lordship of 9th house and the 6th house, and it is also aspecting the ascendant. We'll learn all about this as we go to the next chapter in learning astrology. Rising planet, its nature and signification. Exalted, debilitated in a friendly or inimical sign. Conjunction, aspects from the planets, houses from which aspects are there. So Mars is aspecting from the 10th house on the ascendant, on the 4th house and on the 5th house, because Mars, you should remember, that has 3 aspects. 7th is there for all planets. Mars has the 4th aspect as also the 8th aspect. Jupiter has 5th aspect, 7th aspect and the 9th aspect. Venus has only the 7th aspect. This is the revision video. I'm sure you have gone through the initial videos, and after this 4th revision video we will go back to learning more on astrology. Nature of the sign, movable, fixed, dual. What is the sign here? Gemini. Is it fixed or movable or dual? If you remember, it is the dual sign. The reading of a person's horoscope shall be conclusive only when the above are considered. Sun in the first house. Now we will see each planet in the rising sign, ascendant order in the first house. So Sun in the first house, it gives strong character, righteousness, ambitiousness, power seeker person, generally healthy. It will also depend on the lordship of the Sun. Suppose the Sun is the lord of the 6th house, how will it impact? And what is the first house? That is also of utmost significance. If Sun is the lord of the 8th house and in the ascendant or in the rising sign, what will be the impact? If the Sun is here, lordship of 12th house, and it is here. If Sun is here or here or here or here. So all this will matter, but generally speaking, when the Sun you see in the first house of any chart, any person, any native, you get this in your mind that this is what probably is. Generally cheerful person, optimistic. With Saturn or Mars in the first house, it indicates scars and a hot constitution. Scars means some surgery, some stitches in the body, some hurt, physical injury, along with Sun. And fever, inflammation and eye infection may also occur. Moon in the first house. Moon here. Whatever be the number here, the sign here, it will not matter unless you see the lordship of moon from any of these houses. Suppose the moon is here and number 1 is written here. So moon will have the lordship of 4th house. So 4th house is the house of comfort. So person will have comforts in life or will create comfort, and it is aspecting the 7th house. How is partnership or the spousal impact on influences there, that we will see on individual charts when we practice. The native becomes fanciful and romantic. Generally in dreams, in imaginations, takes moderate meals. You know, we see the second house. When we see second house, we see the eating habit of a person, and if moon is impacting second, fine. So this is the 12th from the second. So meal wise, eating wise, the person would be moderate, restless even though disposition is easygoing, because Moon is a fast moving planet, the fastest in fact. Fortune is generally changing because it keeps moving from Rashi to Rashi, house to house every 2.25 days. One may be an idealist, a great traveler and explorer. Again, because it is a movable planet, fast moving planet, these characteristics might be seen. If with Saturn in the first house, the native will always be a worried person. If Mars is with the Moon in the first house, menstrual disorders in women are indicated because it is with Mars, and Mars is blood. Native is essentially social, a calm person, easygoing. Native is successful in professions where contact with the masses is foreseen. Moon in Lagna with Rahu indicates hysterical tendencies, and with Jupiter it gives wisdom, makes a person wise. Mars in the first house, native has a hot constitution, courage, confidence, enterprise is there. Native will be realistic, cherishes liberty and freedom. Native is rash, reckless, unable to accept defeat. Body will have scars, physical injuries. Physical appearance will be attractive. Persona will be like a warrior. May suffer discord in family life because it is Martian, unless there are other favorable combinations which we will see mostly when we will see individual charts. Suffers ailments due to exploitation of physique, overuse of the physical being will give some disease to this person. So one has to be careful if Mars is in the ascendant or rising sign. Native is prone to accidents. Martian, danger of cuts, burns, etc. are likely. Mercury in the first house, native is amusing, will always be springing surprises in life. Swift of wit, agility of mind are a hallmark. Astute, cunning, wise, agile, well-read, even occult studies. Aspect of Venus makes and assures musical talent in the person. Adaptability is an inherent attribute, can adapt to circumstances, is known to be an intellectual. So Mercury here is important. Rahu or Ketu in the ascendant with Mercury gives nervous troubles to the native because Mercury rules the nervous system. Jupiter in the first house. Optimistic, content, pleasant personality, obese if eating is unrestrained. So if a person is a glutton, eats without any routine or habit, you will generally find the native obese. With Rahu in the first house with Jupiter, the person may lack wisdom. Professionally, might be a teacher, lawyer, writer, even a religious teacher. Socially influential. Venus in the first house, as you see here. For Capricorn or Aquarius ascendants, this is explicitly a fortunate combination. Not that for others it is not fortunate, it is, but then other planets and signs might also influence. Native will be amiable, friendly, cheerful and seeking pleasure. Person of fine arts can appreciate music, dance, drama, singing, or even become part of learning. Passionate about fragrance. Admires the opposite gender. Charming and compelling personality, can have a very good marriage. If afflicted, Venus suggests discord in matrimony. Saturn in the first house, welfare of all is its primary signification unless afflicted. Comfortable in alien customs, upright and judicious, calm and solemn. Progress of everything is gradual, yet it is there. Averse to responsibility, careless. Misfortunes suffered during growing years. Rahu in the first house, Rahu signifies the characteristics of Saturn, deceitful, eccentric, difficult placement for a good, happy married life, influenced by occult. Ketu in the first house, psychic, exhibits significations like the Mars, deceitful, like Rahu, morbid imagination, a wanderer, generally stays away. Married life is generally unhappy unless favorable combinations are there. Let us see the first house results. When will we experience them? The first house signifies the body, general health, childhood and personality, and for results of the above significations we have to check whether the native will have the dasha of the ascendant lord, dasha of the lord of any house in his or her lifetime. Longevity therefore has to be ascertained. Dasha of the ascendant lord, if it does not begin before the commencement of Marak planet dasha, how are other planets influencing the ascendant occupation or aspect that is to be seen, and whether the native will enjoy the dashas of such planets. Dashas and subperiods will give a description of the native's life. We will practice about all these when we go to the next chapter. Let us see first house results from the previous slide. We have come here now. In timing events pertaining to the first house, we see the Lord of the first house. Lord of the first house, Cancer, Lord is Moon. Where is it placed? In the 11th house. What will it say? How will it influence? So we know 11th house is always a favorable house. So we will have our prediction based on that. Planets aspecting the first house. Is there any planet aspecting the first house? There is no planet aspecting the first house. Planet posited in first house? Yes, Jupiter is placed in the first house and it is placed in sign number 4 where it is exalted. So its influence will be as of an aspected planet. Planet conjunct with the Lord of the first house. First house Lord is Moon and it is conjunct with Venus. That is how we see. And planet aspecting the Lord of the first house. Mars is aspecting the Lord of the first house. This is how we have to go about seeing a chart. This is the Dasha period for all the planets. Ketu for 7 years, Venus 20 years, Sun 6 years, Moon 10 years, Mars 7, Rahu 18, Jupiter 16, Saturn 19 and Mercury 17. This ends our revision videos. We have covered 4 videos for revision of the first chapter that we did or learned. See you with the next lesson soon. Keep revising and subscribe, like, share and do press the bell icon for updates. Best wishes for great learning.